welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Shea Butter Shabazz. I pray that everyone in your household is safe, and I pray that for anybody who's watching this house with lost a loved one, I pray for comfort, and for healing over your home, and for the people that are not at work and are struggling financially. I pray that your bank accounts be replenished and that you will not go a day without food, or any necessities that you need. I know what you're thinking. Yes, this title is just like, what the heck is she talking about, or what is she going to talk about in this video? This video is basically talking about my sexual experience and how it affected me and the journey that I'm on as of now. It's called From Hoe to Holy, and not calling myself a hoe or calling anybody those names. That's not something that I'm for. If you're calling me anything other than a child of God or beautiful or anything that's pleasing, then don't call me those things, or don't call anyone those things. Just a label that was put on me, put on many people that may have the same experiences, which we want to talk about. And yeah, we're gonna break the chains and break the cycles of sexual impurity and lust. And so stay tuned. First and foremost, I want to talk about my childhood, which is basically the seed that was planted first and foremost. And I was around 6 or 7 when I had my first sexual encounter. It was with someone that was in my family, and it was someone that I trusted. You know, I don't have any hard feelings about this person. It wasn't a traumatic experience. Believe it or not, I thought it was something that was normal, that, you know, everybody did or everybody experienced. So it wasn't like weird or anything. It was normal, but never knew how to, you know, put it into words or express it. I have total forgiveness and compassion and understanding for what had happened to me at that age, because the same thing was happening to the person that was doing it to me. But yes, that situation had happened, and you know, like I said, it was normal. And my first time watching pornography was around like 11 years old, and you know, it was something that followed me all the way into college, but again, that's something that was deemed normal. Everybody watched pornography, you know, my friends watched it, so it's just like, okay, if they're doing it, then I should do it. Like, it's fine if they're doing it too. You know, you're young, so you want to do what your friends do and things like that. But not knowing that you're planting seeds. I didn't even know what planting seeds meant. I'm only 11, and nor was I even saved, but that's another story for another time. So yes, those were the seeds that were planted as a kid. So we already have, you know, our first sexual encounter, spirit of lust and perversion and things of that sort. I'm thinking, like, you know, where I am today, like these things just came out of nowhere, and I had to really go back and think of where it's all started, where it rooted from. And I wanted to uproot, you know, those desires and the impure thoughts and impure sex that I was having. I had to really look back on my childhood, and that's those two things that came up to mind when I was creating this video. Now, again, about this video, I understand that this video is not your normal video. This is not something that people normally talk about, and it was a lot of attack on this video. It was a lot of backsliding. It was a lot of doubt. It was a lot of fear. It was a lot of tears. It was a lot of fighting and battling to even get this video to get done. Do not take this lightly. This is for people that are struggling with these same things, or who have struggled with these same things. So make sure, like, you see this video, share it with people that you know that may be experiencing these things, and continue to help people. And be mindful what labels you put on people, because you have no idea what their lifestyle was, or what their childhood was, or how they grew up. So be very sensitive to people that are in this stage of life. And I say the stage of life because this is something that shall also pass, and we'll get into that. Fast forward to my teenage years. My first time ever having sex was 13, and I lost my virginity. And it's so weird how we use the word loss, but you actually kind of do lose something in that exchange. So I can see how the term is appropriate for what had happened. And I was really pressed for this boy. Like, after the stuff had happened, I was so pressed. Like, you know, I would like ask to go to the bathroom just to see him and things of that sort, and he was not reciprocating that same energy after like that had happened. And I felt kind of used, and I felt kind of like rejected, definitely more so rejected than anything. And that stuck with me. So as I got older, like, you know, I just wanted to feel sexy. I wanted to get over him. I wanted to feel desired. I wanted to feel wanted. So I will put out, like, you know, we'll have sex and things of that sort. And, you know, I finally got a boyfriend, and me thinking that, all right, if I have a boyfriend, then all those insecurities will go away. Like, you know, I can have sex with my my boyfriend all the time, like all those things that I desired. And all in all, like, yeah, we did those things, but I was still feeling broken, and still not able to put those into words. I was still broken. I still had, issues with rejection and things of that sort. I still had insecurities and all of those things in between. College is a different ball game. I was pretty sheltered when I was at home before I went to college. I wilded out when I got to college. I could stay out however long I want. I could have anybody I want over, and I was out there. I was out. Coming back to my dorm at 6 a.m., got class the next day. It was crazy. I thank God that I graduated, because, Lord have mercy, I was onto a rough start. Throughout college, I was always told, this is your hoe phase. This is where you can have sex. Nobody's gonna, look at you as a hoe and all those things like that. And it's just, that's completely opposite. People saw me as that. Some people saw me as that. Some girls who were, around me saw me as that. Guys saw me as that, and would talk to other guys about me and saw me as those things. And that is not at all what I was. And at first, I used to hide behind those words in confidence and be like, well, yeah, I am. I do what I do. I ain't got no shame, and all those things. And I tried to become what they were calling me, in a sense. And that's not who I was. And that's not who I am, and that's not who anybody is. Not knowing that those seeds that were planted were starting to produce fruit, and I was eating the fruit that had been produced for years upon years. I'm only 23, so it's not that many years, but still, it was something that didn't happen overnight. I got to a really low point my junior year. I was really sad. I was really desperate for change. I was really heartbroken. Got to the point where I was so my self-esteem was so low. I wanted to kill myself because I didn't feel beautiful anymore. I looked at myself so ugly and disgusting, and I thought that's how everybody else viewed me. So I was in such a dark place, and I'm just crying out to God. I was pretty sad for 3 days straight in my room, just crying. My eyes were bloodshot red and puffy. I just looked a hot mess, and I wanted to change. So I started changing things on the outside. I was I'm gonna get my hair done. I'm gonna get these contacts. I'm gonna do my makeup really nice. I'm gonna get these new clothes. I'm gonna do this, do that, but not fixing what the real issue was, and that was my heart. And I needed healing. Instead of trying to fix the outward things, I really needed the inward things to be fixed as well. And I wanted something better. It was a familiarization of how I lived my life since I was a kid. So I kept going back to the same old, and ended up at rock bottom more than I should have. I got into this point where I tried to be in control of what was controlling me, so to speak. I thought I had control over the lust. I thought I had control over, the perversion. I thought I had control over those things because I would tell a guy when to come and when to go. So I thought I had control. Or I would act really cold towards a dude to not catch feelings, and so to speak, and so I wouldn't be hurt in the long run of, us having sex. So I was just so oblivious to what was really happening. I was not in control. I was still being controlled nonetheless, and it was a scary place to be. Crazy thing is that, I'm asking God to help, but I won't get out of the way for him to help me. I kept, hanging out with guys in private and Netflix and chilling, still putting myself in predicaments to end up doing that again. And then it's just after a while, I was just well, this is just how it's gonna be, so let me just keep doing it. Not knowing that I was still breaking my own heart and still hurting myself and putting myself through the same motion over and over and over again and it's just insanity thinking that, doing the same thing is going to bring a different result. But again, a lot of my peers were this is what you're supposed to do right now, and not telling you how broken you'll feel. All of these situationships, all of the way that our generation speaks on sex and intimacy, it's we have no value in it anymore. It's let's just have sex and just be done with it. Let's not catch feelings. Let's have the bond without the title. Let's just, let's just be friends with benefits. Like, nobody is valuing what they have. Sex is so much more than just body to body. It's soul to soul. It's a treasure. It's something that God created. It's something that He deemed beautiful. It's something that's passion, that has so much passion and so much fire and love in there. And we have changed it into this horrible, nasty feeling. It's like sometimes I would have sex and I would feel disgusting afterwards. It's just like, ew, why did I do that? Or I feel disgusting towards myself, and it's just like, that's not how I want to have sex. I don't want to look at myself any less than a child of God. I didn't want that anymore. I was tired of that, and I wanted something different. So I prayed, and I went on a 6-month celibacy walk, journey, whatever, and I slid back. And I'm like, okay, well, how the heck did I get back to this point? But I think there was still some void that I was trying to fill. I think, okay, well, if I'm not having sex, then that means I'm probably ready for a relationship. So then that just, maybe I can have sex in my relationship and it won't be as bad as having sex with somebody that's not my boyfriend. All of those things I went through my head. But either way, like, sex in a relationship with your boyfriend, or sex with someone who's not your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, it still holds the same damage. Because if you have sex with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, y'all break up and you don't share your most intimate parts. You got as close as you could with this person, y'all break up, and now you have to go through this whole phase of rebuilding and getting ready and letting the trust issues go and getting them outside of you. And there's so many pieces that have came out of you. And that's exactly what was happening to me. I had to walk on that campus every single day and see pieces of me everywhere. Like, I did not know who I was anymore. And sometimes you get lost like that in a relationship. So it's like being in a relationship or being not in a relationship or a situationship, if you will, there's still a price that is paid when you give your body to that person or those persons. I really had a hard time coming to terms with that. I started reading more scripture, and it's this awesome Bible plan, devotional plan in the Bible app, and I'll put the link down and everything. It's called Swipe Right, and I know it's perfect. It's a perfect title, because that's how we see each other. Like, we see each other as swipe right. Oh, she don't look like this, or he don't look like this, or whatever. We just objectify one another. But this is talking about, like, the power of sex, love, and death, and all those great things. I'm not saying that you're gonna die from having sex and things of that sort, but something does potentially die if you do not put sex in the right container. A fire can warm your home if it's in a fireplace. It can destroy your home if it's not guarded properly or in the right container, so to speak. But here's a scripture that I want to leave with you guys. For anybody who is dealing with this and wants to be free from this, this is something that I really stand on. It's 1 Corinthians 6:18. It says, run! That's the first word. Run from sexual sin. No other sin so clearly affects the body as this one does. For sexual immorality is a sin against your own body. Now, I can say for sure, those moments where I felt disgusting about myself, or I felt low, I felt like I done lost a piece of me again, that is exactly what that is talking about. You don't sin against your own body. Put yourself in a situation to be open up to whatever that person has attached to them. It's been moments where I'm good, like I'm happy, then I have sex with somebody, and all of a sudden I got these spouts of anger or whatever. It's just like their spirits had attached to me, and I'm just like, how did I get to this point? Like, I got so consumed with everyone else's spirits, I didn't even know who I was. So be careful with things of that sort. And that's where Proverbs 5:23 comes in. He will die from lack of self-control. He will be lost because his great foolishness. Ultimately, the more you have sex with people that is anything but your husband or wife, your spirit will begin to die. People do not tell you these things, The world tells you to go have sex and do you, boo-boo, and if you want to get over one man, get underneath another one and have sex with as many girls as you want, bro. You got the girls, and we trying to be like you, dog. No, they don't tell you that this stuff hurts. This stuff hurts. It hurts. It hurts to your core. It hurts to your inner being. Something dies in you after a while. Like, it gets to a point where you're so desensitized from having all that sex that you don't even enjoy it anymore. It's just the body at this point. And that's where I was. That's not how sex is supposed to work. One of the examples from the Bible plan was saying, like a sticky note, if you keep sticking it on surfaces, after a while it's going to lose the adhesiveness. And it's not going to be as sticky as it was before. It's going to keep falling off. So it's kind of like the same thing with sex. The more you keep doing it outside of marriage and outside of, you know, God's covenant and God's will, the less feeling and passion you're gonna have for it. Now it's just you just doing it just to do it. You know, you don't even have the zeal or the fire behind it or the enjoyment anymore. And at this point, you're just doing it to feed that lust, to feed that perversion, and all of those things that, you know, God never intended for us to feed. And woo, I'm telling you, y'all, it's not the place you want to be. I thank God I don't look like what I've been through. But I'll make a part 2 of this to go more in depth of, you know, sex and relationships, because there's so much to learn. And the more that I learn, the more I'm going to teach and show you guys, because I'm still in the process of learning these things. So far, I've been doing pretty good on, you know, keeping like those lustful thoughts down, like not even down, just removing them. There's also an app called Swipe Right, which is from that Bible plan, and I'll put that in the link below. And it just keeps reminding me of scriptures and just encouraging words, and continue to fight. The more word you have in you, the more protection you have. Like let the word be your sword to fight against the attacks of the enemy, because we already know that this is a plot of the enemy. Like, he wanted me to stay in this web of lust and perversion and loneliness and low self-esteem. He didn't want me to be married one day. He didn't want me to be whole in God. He didn't want me to say no to all these lustful desires. He didn't want me to say no to the boys. It was like, and not saying that any of these people were possessed, but just think, all those times where I was really about to post this video, or I really had my mind made up, text, like, you know, dudes will just come out of the woodwork. It's like, I haven't talked to in a while, and my stupid self, I didn't have my guard up, fall back into the same thing. I didn't have my word up, and that's what kind of, you know, held me back a lot. The more you know, okay? The more you know. Be mindful of what you speak over people. Listen to people's stories. You have no idea what they've gone through, what they witnessed, or what they've experienced. And it's so easy to write people off and label them as hoes, whores, sluts, a player, or whatever the case may be. You just have to be sensitive to what's happening or what has happened to them. You have no idea. Like, people want to die. Like, this stuff will ultimately make you want to die. You keep doing this, you won't want to off yourself. You're gonna want to die. You're gonna want to wake up dead. That's not even a thing, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's way more than just a body. You are way more than just a body. You are way more than just a nut. You feel me? I'm gonna keep it a whole 100. You're way more than just Netflix and chill. And that's for men too. It's not just for the women, it's for men too. Y'all are way more than that. Please don't, you know, make yourself small for anyone. Have some standards. And for people that are going through this journey of celibacy and walking through purity, and you have fallen back, it happens. But please get up. Do not let the enemy tell you that it's too late. This is how it's always going to be. No, you keep fighting. You keep going. Keep pursuing. You keep fighting. And you keep moving forward. You ask for forgiveness and you ask God to help you. Get into groups where people can help you, you know. Stay out of the other person's room. Like, stay out their room. Hang out in public places. Do what has to be done. To get something you never had, you have to do something you've never done. And a lot of us have been just having sex and not knowing what we were doing to ourselves. A lot of us want to break free, and I pray that you break free. I'm definitely going to keep praying for anyone who's watching this video. Make sure you comment below if you have any other questions about my journey, or you can DM me at shaybutter.shabazz on Instagram. And I just pray that God's glory be upon all of you, and his wisdom will not be withheld from you. He promises to never withhold any wisdom from you. If you need wisdom and guidance, or just anybody to pray for you, I'm definitely here for that. I love y'all. Again, I'm Shay Butter Shabazz, and I will see y'all next time.